Welcome to video 4. Today we're going to be talking about factoring by grouping. So when we look at the grouping, that's whenever we have 4 or more terms and we'll use a box. So the first thing we need to do is group the terms into pairs. And then we need to create a row for each pair in our box diagram. Following that, we'll find the GCF of the top row and put it in the first spot, and then work backwards to find both the dimensions. And this is just like what we've done before. The new piece here is the pairing them and filling in the box. And then it's just using that GCF that we did yesterday to fill in the first spot, and then filling out the other dimensions by dividing out or looking at what would we need to multiply by to fill in that spot. So the first thing we need to do is group the terms into pairs. So I have 4 here. I'm going to group the first 2 and the second 2. And I just show that grouping by putting them in that squiggly braces. And then we need to fill in the box that we were using previously. And now I fill in the first row here. I'm going to put in the 4a to the third and the 24a. And then in the other row, I'm going to put the a squared and the plus 6. And then when I look at this first row here, the 4a to the third and the 24a, the GCF there would be a and a 4. Now remember, if you don't know what the GCF is, you can put the number part in your calculator. It doesn't help you with the variables, but it can help you find the greatest common factor out of numbers. You do that by going to the math button, which is under alpha, over to the right for the NUN num tab, and then you go either all the way down to the bottom to number 9 or type in number 9, which is GCD. And then you would need to type in the 4, comma 24. So you just hit the button 4 and then the comma, which is located above the number 7, and then the 24 and close your parentheses, and you can hit enter. And that'll tell you the greatest common factor with the numbers. Again, it doesn't work for variables, but it can help us with the numbers. So I'm going to pull out that 4, and then I'm also going to look at the a's. Since there's 3 here, a to the third, and an a here, that means I can pull out 1a over to the side. And then now that we have this figured out, the 4a, we just work backwards to fill out the rest. So what would need to go here in order to make this a to the third? And that would be an a squared. So then I'm going to fill in the a squared at the top. And then up here, what would need to go in this block? Well, what times 4 is 24? That would be a 6, or you can do 24 divided by 4. So a 6, and then I already have the a's, so I don't need any more a's here. And then this last spot, when I look at the a squared, well, there's already an a squared here, so all I need to put here is a positive 1. And then when I look at that last spot, the 6 times the 1 is 6, so that does check out to make sure I filled out the box correctly. And then now we just write it as the factors, so the side of the box and this side of the box. So the a squared plus 6 and the 4a plus 1. Then there's my answer, the a squared plus 6 and the 4a plus 1. And that's all we have to do. So I'll do one more together with you. So the first part, group it into pairs. So I've got the first 2 and the second 2. Then we're going to fill in our area model on the box. And then I'm going to fill in, so the first 2 will go in my first row here, and then the next 2 will go in the bottom row, so the 10x minus 25. Then I need to look at the first one here and see what is my GCF. Well, the 2 and the negative 5, or the 2 and the 5, they don't have a greatest common factor amongst them other than just plain old 1. So I could pull out a 1, and then an x squared and an x means I can only take out 1x. So 1x or just plain old x out front here. And then what would need to go here in order to make this 2x squared? That would be a 2x. And then for this spot, the negative 5, the x would need a negative 5 to make negative 5x. And then the last one, the 10x, well, I would need to multiply by 5 times the 2x to get the 10x. So this would be a 5 here. And then always check that last one, and 5 times the negative 5 does give me negative 25. So then this is my answer. I just need to write it as the 2 sides and using parentheses for the binomials. And then that's my answer, the 2x minus 5 and the 2x plus 5. Okay, we'll go over more of these tomorrow. Have a good night.